Hello everybody, it's Glass Half Dead here once again, speaking to you with a monotone, passionless voice. Lovely. Today I'm going to be talking about LVO, Las Vegas Open. Currently, it is the biggest tournament in the Kill Team calendar this year. I do also realise it's January, so it sounds like I'm saying it's not big, but it is. It's pretty big. I believe they've sold either 41 or 49 tickets. Can't remember. We'll probably get a new no-shows on the day. That always happens. But it's looking like it's going to be a nice 40-plus tournament. Very nice. I also am going to LVO. So firstly, a big thanks to everybody that donated to the LVO fundraiser, because I guarantee without you guys, I would not be going. A thank you to Alex, who is the TO of LVO, who actually ran that fundraiser. I had nothing to do with that, so that's equally pretty cool. With that out of the way, let's talk what the hell am I going to do for LVO. Oh, firstly, in the background, you might see some cool footage. That's because I have no interesting visuals going on. So you could just watch a cool cinematic with me sat in the corner. Yeah, enjoy that. That is from Star Wars The Old Republic. It's an MMO. It actually wasn't bad. The best thing about it was 100% the cinematics, which are the best Star Wars cinematics you will ever see. Anyway, moving on. To my mind, LVO has two defining characteristics. Wait, maybe three. But let's say two. So the big obvious one is, of course, that it is hold one, kill one, hold more, kill more. That's how you score the primary. Cool. Now, I've known that's going to be coming for quite some time. I think if you watch my channel, you're aware this is about to be hitting the tournament scene. People are pretty jazzed for it. What does it do? It just gives elites that little tip of a balance tweak they need so that the thing that elites can actually do reliably, hopefully, get kills, will help them in the actual scoring of points, as opposed to simply holding objectives, which is obviously very, 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 very favoured by hordes. But I'm not going to talk too much about just that, because I think there's actually a bigger change for LVO than that. Well, no, sorry. What I mean is I've already gotten accustomed to playing hold kill, so it doesn't surprise me, it doesn't shock me anymore. I think everybody, again, watching my channel probably knows that it's completely mixed things up, and we can all kind of work out the logical consequence. Something that I think possibly some people haven't noticed is positional secondary objectives. Oh, okay, so also LVO has free pick secondaries, something I don't like at all, but that's the way they're doing it. That means however many secondaries there are, I think it's 18, 19, whatever. Every mission, you have the full roster of secondaries that you can pick from. That's a thing. And I think it's a bad thing. But I'm not going to go into that. Let's go into the positional secondaries. They have changed Scout the Field and Engage on all fronts. And I think they've made a crazy change. Let me tell you what it is. So, Engage on all fronts in the base game, I'm sure you have to have at least one model in all four quarters of the board. Scout the Field in the base game is you need to have one model next to three sides of the board, and then there's some weird deployment shenanigans, but basically you can have one guy in your deployment zone, essentially. In LVO, Engage on all fronts, instead of needing one model in all four quarters of the board, you only need one model in three quarters of the board. And Scout the Field, instead of needing one model next to three battlefield edges, you only need one model next to two battlefield edges. That's big. So obviously if you look at it, so I get the reason why this was done, right? And maybe you guys will disagree with me here, but let's see. So this was done for the very obvious reason of allowing elite teams to actually score positional objectives in a somewhat more reliable way. As someone that has run elite teams using the base, Scout the Field and Engage on all fronts, I know how difficult it can be. If you lose a single model, which you probably will, then suddenly an objective can become literally unscorable. Especially considering that you have to have a model on all of the objectives as well. Because you now only hold one, hold more, you don't need to hold two objectives as an elite team. holding more objectives than your opponent isn't really part of your game plan. It can be. If you do it, that's great. But really, you just want to hold one. So you have one model sitting on a point. You then have one model at the side of the board, another model at another side of the board. Now, if you've played your cards right, that means you also have battlefield, 2 board quarters filled. You only need a third model, and you could be scoring 3 points a turn, just from one for the board, one for scout the field, one for engage on all fronts. Big. Now, not only does this make it possible, more than possible, because obviously it's always been possible for an elite faction to actually score these positionals. I think that it actually almost has the inverse effect of making it even easier for a horde team to score them. Don't get me wrong, I just generally have an issue with positional secondaries. I don't think they're very good in their current iteration. But basically, we come down to the same problem of, you know what? That elite team, they are having to dedicate 4 models, right? So you've got one model on an objective. You've got one model next to one edge of the board. You've got another model next to another edge of the board. And then you've got a 4th model in the 3rd quarter of the board. Now, obviously, you're going to be doubling these up. But that's only, you can only double up on one of those most likely. So you're using 3 models. Now, obviously, 3 models to score 3 points is great value. But that means, let's take Grey Knights as an example. That means you've only got 3 more guys, they can run up the board, they can do stuff. Now, 3 more guys is still way better than it was before, where you probably didn't have any 3 guys at all. So for Grey Knights, those 3 models cost you about 60 points. That's still about half your team. Hordes, they can be dedicating 12 points. So, you know what? Maybe they double up and get some redundancies in there. So they are almost, I don't want to say literally, because, dictionaries exist. But they are practically impossible to shift from scoring those 3 points. The same 3 points that you as an elite team are scoring. But you are spending 60 points to do that. They are spending, they've doubled up though, right? They're spending 24 points. So you think, okay, well, you know what? I'm an elite team. That's fine. I'll just gun down those extra. What's the difference there? 40 points? 30 points. Let's say 30 points. So that sucks for elite teams. It depends on what the horde army is going to be running at you. By making it easier for elite teams, you made it even easier for horde teams. Is my gripe. That's all. It does, however, mean that if you are attending LVO, by the way, guys, or if you're playing the LVO packet, expect to see pretty much everybody taking Scout the Field and Engage on all fronts, because they're super easy. Then, depending on their team, they might take Domination. That also depends on the map, but again, that's a really good one. Or they might take a killy one, for example, Tau. They'll probably take Readied Shot, whatever it's called, in the LVO pack. If the LVO pack has Readied Shot, it might not. But they'll take something that allows them to get kills at range. Or if they can't do that, just a generic kill secondary. If they're not taking one of those 3 positionals, that is. They might take Recon Sweep. Again, that depends on the map. Elite teams probably won't be taking Recon Sweep. I don't know. I'm just thinking, as an elite team, I would struggle to dedicate 1 CP to getting a model into the enemy's deployment zone, where half the time they're going to be able to zone you out, so you actually have to come on midway up the board, and you may as well not have bothered. As somebody that's been playing with quite a bit of, reserves, you can always play reserves, I end up not using them as an elite team, unless I have a very specific thing I'm trying to do, where I have, for example, a Terminator with Flamer, that kind of thing. It's obvious what you're doing. However, they can be zoned out. If you're playing a mid-range model army, or a horde, obviously, you could just get zoned out, and you have to deploy in your table half. And it's like, well, I could have just moved, actually. And you know what? They're probably going to plasma you. Let's be honest. Okay, and with that in mind, those are my thoughts on the biggest changes that have happened to the LVO packet compared to the main Annihilation, whatever, SoCal packet. Now, obviously, depending on which army you're bringing, everything I've just said may not be hugely relevant. Maybe you've already been practicing the pack and you've already decided, actually, Scout the Field, Engage on all fronts aren't for me, they're not for my team, Domination, not what I want, etc., etc. I've got bigger plans. Fair enough, I'm going to be honest. I've only just learned that I'm going to be going to LVO, so I haven't fully delved into the pack. I've been playing other packs more recently, and more precisely, I've been working on my own pack, which is currently just a whole mishmash of rules thrown together, which is actually turning out pretty fun. However, I'm not yet a master at the LVO pack, which is going to bring us neatly to my next video, which will release on Wednesday or Tuesday, I don't know, where we quite nicely realise that I have to pick an army, and I don't know what. But that is for next time. Everybody, I hope that my little thoughts, my little rambly thoughts here on the big changes for LVO have helped you in some way. And let me know what you think, because genuinely, I need help. I'm going to LVO, and I don't know what I'm taking. You know, I've got to, I can't let the British side down. I need help. I don't have enough time to to do practice games for LVO, and I have to pick what I'm taking based on my currently available armies that are fully painted, because I don't have time to paint anything before then. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. Please, in the comments, help me. Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on LVO? Who do you think is going to come out the top? In my next video, I'm going to be telling you who I think, faction-wise, is going to be coming out top, and then which faction I am going to take. Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day, and I hope you continue to have a good day. And I hope you've enjoyed the cinematics going on behind me. That's way more interesting than my normal videos, I know. Bye.